Here we are again. We got more snow last night, about 5 inches, I think. I don't know. And the snow plow's fixed, and it did 7 driveways already. And we're already resorting to just pushing the snow all the way back through our yard down the riverbank. Where else to put it? And, we have cleaned off our roofs now 4 times. 4. We usually only do it twice in 1 year. We've done it 4 times in just the month of February. And we're well over 40 inches. Gosh, I think we're well over 50 inches of snow for the month of February. New records. Yay. So, no man is an island, story number 39. How many of you know that For Whom the Bell Tolls comes from a great poem which approaches a religious piece by the great dead white male poet John Donne? I didn't know that. It's a short one. It was written something called Devotions upon Emergence Occasions and said, "No man is an island entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main." He meant that although we're individuals, we're also part of a whole, which makes living as individuals possible. The death of any one person diminishes the life of every other because it diminishes the whole. That's why his famous ending says, "Never send to know for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee." It is no longer taught by the polyps in the U.S. academic establishment, the polyps who have turned academia into a cauldron of left-wing hatred for everything Caucasian, everything European, everything that is great on this earth, created by whites, but now expunged by the polyps who have taken over every aspect of the academy. I'm not sure why he's calling them polyps, but that's his words. What does that have to do with Trump? Nothing, in a way. But the poem begins with, "No man is an island. Trump isn't an island." And as Chuck Schumer and the other illegitimate on the left continue to tear him apart, they do not realize they're tearing themselves apart. As they tear apart the truth, as they tear apart decency, as they tear apart democracy, as they tear apart the presidency, I would say as they tear apart a democratic republic, because that's what we have. They're washing away our nation. And if you think they're attacking only Trump, you are mistaken. They are attacking the very foundations of our nation. I've shared this great meditation because it's as good as anything that the ancients wrote. But there is an ancient one-line passage from Ethics of the Fathers that says, "Do not judge alone, for none can judge alone except one," meaning only God can judge alone. Apparently, Chuck Schumer forgot all of that after he put down his religious studies, if he ever had any. I don't know. And after tearing apart Donald Trump on completely fallacious grounds, that means false grounds, the polyps in the Democrat Party live for one thing only, and that is to destroy, to destroy, destroy, destroy. But here's the odd part. Instead of facing the real enemy of Western civilization, which is radical, let me emphasize radical Islam, they have created a false enemy called Russia. Suddenly, Russia is the big enemy. What has Russia done to harm the United States? The answer is absolutely nothing. In fact, were it not for Russian jets, ISIS would still be cutting off heads and setting people on fire alive. It was the Russian Air Force under Vladimir Putin that started to destroy ISIS, not Barry Hussein Obama, who refused to do that job. Civilization itself is under attack right now. Not long ago, I received an email from a very famous Democratic attorney. I'm talking about an old line JFK era Democrat. Don't confuse people like him with the so-called progressives of today. I'm talking about an old-time fair-minded liberal. There were such men at one time. They practically don't exist anymore. This attorney wrote me an impassioned email about how Donald Trump should handle the James Comey scandal. He said there's only one way for him to handle it. And of course, I told the FBI director, if you can, I didn't say you should, if you can, drop this because he's a good man. Flynn is a good man. He's my friend. That shows loyalty. Do you understand? That shows Donald Trump has something none of the Democrat polyps have: integrity and loyalty to friends. Do you understand what's going on here? Loyalty, integrity, things Schumer never learned in the dirty streets of Brooklyn, things Nancy Pelosi apparently never learned. I guess her family's mafia, Catholic mafia. Imagine that. The attorney added, there's nothing illegal with that. He gave me some other advice. There's absolutely no case whatsoever for impeachment. None. In fact, if you think there is, you're really living in a dream world. And they do like to keep their sheeple living in a dream world. I received a letter from my attorney, Daniel Horowitz. He said, impeachment based upon the Comey memo is very unlikely. Here's why. If Comey really was solicited in a way that was clearly illegal, he had two choices. One, he could submit a report to the Attorney General and seek a prosecution. Two, he could create a memo report and do further investigation. That is, set up a sting or attempt to garner more proof than just his word against the president's. As far as I know, neither took place. A cynic would say that Comey was holding it over Trump as blackmail, but I give no credence to that at all. The power would fade over time, and the delay in reporting would make the use of the threat a bluff. That leaves us with the idea that Comey probably felt pressured, but also believed that the conduct did not constitute a crime. It is the only logical conclusion. Comey is a lawyer and an experienced law enforcement officer, and he is smart and not afraid of anyone as far as I can tell. For these reasons, his noting of the contact, but his taking no further action screams to me, there's nothing here. Unfortunately, the propaganda damage has already been done. I received several emails from a friend of mine in Los Angeles. He said that in every restaurant he went into, all anyone was talking about was Trump and Russia, Russia and Trump, Trump and Russia. He said wherever he went, the psychotic liberals have bought it hook, line, and sinker. The idiots in West Hollywood who don't know their toenails from their DNA. We're talking not about the radical Islamic threat to our civilization, but about Trump and Russia. So the damage has already been done. But Trump is doing his work. While under constant assault from the lowest forms of humanity, he continues to do the job we sent him to Washington to do. And if you think I'm going to abandon him like all the never-Trumpers, stab him in the back and jump ship because all the others are doing it, you're wrong. I'm made of better stuff than that. I'm not going to join the chorus who are for Ted Cruz or any other of the other lessers who could not win. They're now sticking a knife in Trump's back because he's in trouble. The answer should be to stick a knife in the other party's back, not in Trump's. I've said this before, and I will say it again. What is missing is Roy Cohn. Isn't it Michael Cohen who's under investigation today? And I guess he's committed perjury twice. That they know for sure. If I were Donald Trump, I would hire 100 aggressive lawyers under a Roy Cohn-like lawyer, and I would investigate all of those who are persecuting me with false charges. I would put 10 investigators on every senator, every congressman, every reporter who has it in for me. And once I turned over every rock in their lives and exposed what's real about their own crimes and misdemeanors, you would see most of the prosecution cease. Persecution cease. Prosecution, persecution, what's the difference? It's astonishing to me how successful propaganda can be. No kidding. It's shocking to me how the media can take a man like Donald Trump, as flawed as he is, and turn him into a villain. Flawed he is, villain he is not. By attacking Trump, what they're really doing is attacking the Americans who voted for him. Make no mistake about it. By attacking Trump, they're saying drop dead on the border with, I'm going to turn the page, Mexico. We love the drugs. We love the crime. We love the illegal aliens. We love the meth dealers pouring over the border. We love the throat cutters with tattoos. We want more of them in our cities because we love the drug trade. And why would they love the drug trade? Because maybe they are laundering taxpayers' money in drugs. Did you ever think of that? Yeah, honey. If you ever investigate how they're abusing our taxpayer money, you would be so lividly angry. Believe me, we have been thieved upon for years, probably going all the way back to 1913. But he's finally got something that's really about religion, not politics, in this little story. Jeremiah 22, verse 14 through 15. That saith, I will build me a wide house and spacious chambers, and cutteth him out windows, and it is sealed with cedar and painted with vermilion. Shalt thou reign because thou strivest to excel in cedar? Did not thy father eat and drink and do justice and righteousness? Then it was well with him. Yeah, so it's not about the walls around you and what they're made of. It's about the wall, the inside, the fertilizer, the ground, it's the foundation. About the foundation inside. By attacking Trump, they're saying we love a fair trade deal where Eddie loses his job. We love jobs going to Canada. We love jobs going to Mexico. We love jobs going to China, where none of those places are quite obeying pollution standards like America did. So we have more pollution in the world. Yay! We want the white male suffering with nothing in this country. We want the white male out of work. We want him humiliated and broken. And what are they saying about our language? We don't want a language in this country. We want a bastardization. We want no one to understand the next man. We want a Tower of Babel. They are doing everything to divide us. They are attacking us. They are attacking the core of the nation. They are attacking every last one of us who voted for Trump. Make no mistake about it. The battle lines are drawn. The game has begun. And Michael Savage is not jumping ship just because you think it is convenient for him to do so. I am a loyal man. It should be noted that both Andrew McCabe and the former Director of National Intelligence, James Clapper, who never shuts his claptrap mouth, have already refuted the Democrats' conspiracy theory. There's absolutely no collusion whatsoever with Russia. Having said that, my big, high, powerful Democrat lawyer friend said to me, Trump should give a national press conference. He should have done it already and stopped tweeting. I agree. Trump should stop with the juvenile adolescent tweeting. It's not presidential. He should give a national press conference in the Oval Office with the Great Seal of the United States in front of him and say, yes, I defended General Flynn because he is a good man and I would do it again. And number two, yes, I did tell the ambassador about the dangers of radical Islam and its agents' attempts to use laptops to blow up airplanes because that is my job as president, to protect people. And I would do it again with any other world leader who is our ally. That would be the end of it. But Michael, how would he play 4D chess if he didn't use those adolescent tweets? Because he's using their tactics against them. They might be adolescent, but they do work to draw attention towards things. And that's the point of those adolescent tweets. By attacking Donald Trump, the Democrats, neocons, and rhinos are attacking every one of us who voted for him. They're using tactics the Soviet communists developed in the 1920s and 30s. And what they are doing to Trump, they are doing to every one of us, every decent American like you, like me, who went to the polls. We didn't beat anybody up. We didn't burn anything down. We didn't attack any police. We didn't block any roads. We didn't use the vile tactics of Black Lives Matter or Antifa, a revolutionary communist terrorist group. We don't use the cowardly tactics of those with masks over their faces. We bit our tongues, went to the polls, and voted. By attacking Trump, they are attacking our votes. That means they're attacking democracy. No, they're attacking a democratic republic because we're not a democracy. We all know there's nothing there. We know this whole thing was a creation of the Hillary Clinton campaign, in who she was colluding with, but besides Russia, all the while she was Secretary of State. She was colluding with, believe it or not, the UK, the monarch, the guy that made the fake dossier that Steele was a fallen British spy. It's great people these people hang out with. Okay. We know this whole thing was a creation of the Hillary Clinton campaign, which has snowballed into fake news avalanche. They are starting to believe themselves. We must stay strong in this avalanche and not yield to our liberal neighbors. Don't let them run you down. Illegitimi non carborundum. I have no idea what that means. It's all in Latin. And here we have Jeremiah 22, verse 13. Woe unto him that buildeth his house by unrighteousness, and his chambers by injustice, that useth his neighbor's service without wages, and giveth him not his hire. Oh, that sounds like something Bill and Hillary Clinton built, called the Clinton Foundation. It was built on a lot of that material. And guess what? We're into part 5, God and Man. Part 5. God, by the way, this is Michael Savage's book, God, Faith, and Reason. And how does God guide your life? How does searching for God help direct your life? How much does God do versus how much does the individual do? This story is called Lonesome Boy on Cold Sands. And I believe that's story 40. Yep. Picture a boy about 11 years old, thin, small, walking alone aimlessly on a cold beach in the middle of the winter in Rockaway, New York. No one is around. The boardwalk is empty. The hotels are silent. What is the boy doing wandering? Almost like a bumblebee who'd been sprayed with Raid in the sand. I was that boy. You see, inside one of the hotels on that wintry day, there was a father and son Boy Scout dinner. It was on a Sunday, I believe, and I had attended it. But my father worked 7 days a week in his little store. Remember, his dad had that antique store. Trying to put bread on the table, pay the rent, pay the car bills. So he wasn't with me. I was always alone. I had no father in that regard. He had to work, and I understood that. But it seemed to me that all the other boys had fathers with them, and they were happy. And that hurts a boy. In sitting still and rest shall ye be saved. In quietness and in confidence shall be your strength. Isaiah 30, verse 15. I always think about our little Kylie Koo, now that his dad is gone. And I just want all my brothers, all of Kyle's uncles and cousins, to step in and be with him in days and doing things that his dad would have done with him if his dad could have stayed here. It suddenly dawned on me in the middle of that dinner that I had no father, at least not when I needed him. I still remember almost running out of that room on my own and disappearing onto the sand, the cold sand, and walking by myself. I didn't know where I was going. I don't think I was going to walk into the ocean to kill myself, but I really don't know for sure. I don't know what was in the mind of that 11-year-old boy. But I knew that out of nowhere there came the scout leader and a few other men looking for me. I turned around and there were these kind men. There was Mr. Aronson. He didn't yell at me. He didn't scream and demand, "What are you doing?" as my father would have done. He was kind and he reached out to me and took me in his arm. And he took me back into the dinner, and I felt that I had just been protected. In many ways, the story is a great metaphor for those of us who are wandering like lost insects, seeking our Father, or more important, our Father in heaven. Yeah. God bless every man who steps in. for another man. God bless you. The Lord God hath given me the tongue of them that are taught. This is Isaiah 50, verse 4. The Lord God hath given me the tongue of them that are taught, that I should know how to sustain with words him that is weary. He wakeneth morning by morning. He wakeneth mine ear to hear as they that are taught. And our last one we're going to read, it's just one page and it's called 5 out of 7. God is not an equivocator. So he doesn't sit on the fence. I've led my life that way. Have I always been to the standards? I have not. I'm a man. I'm an imperfect creature who doesn't hold himself up above the average person. I am the average person. I try my best, but I often fall back to the earth. It's all I can do. I try. It's like saying, I'm going to do push-ups every night. And I'd say that 5 out of 7 nights. I do the push-ups, but 2 nights out of the 7, I don't. I say I don't have the strength. I don't want to do it. I just want to go to sleep. It's the same with everything else. 5 out of 7 times I do the right thing. 2 out of 7 I don't. Or at least not right away. Procrastinate. Oh, we were talking about that. What do you do religiously? And it was besides like going to church. And I make my bed religiously. That's the truth. I do. I make my bed. So that was, let me see. I think it was 39 was the long one. 39, 40, and 41. So we're going to start next time with story 42, and that's called Jewish Gangster Finds God. Ooh, we're going to read about the Jewish gangster. All right, it's that time to end the stream. God bless ya. I love ya. We're ending the stream now. Bye-bye.